anything about it until you actually have it registered. That's the problem. And I want to.
Wow, are you doxing us right now?
No, nope, I didn't dox anyone, but I definitely cut back over to the audio so everyone heard that.
No one heard what we were talking about. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Oh, innocent.
We are innocent, yeah.
It's been a while since we've gotten us all together, and it is clear that we've had a lot of work we've needed to do, some of which may still be going on as we speak.
I mean, this is clearly very important work right here.
Oh, this one's gonna be great.
Very important.
Clearly. Everyone, welcome to the Newbcast podcast for the 16th of February, 2020. I kid you not, guys, this has been the entire pre-show, is us just screwing around and trying. It's like, we should get things ready. Nah, we can just screw around. No big deal.
But thank you all for being here and being here on time and tolerating this.
Yeah,
we will prove it's worth it.
I'm always on time, and I never miss a show.
Never at all. Never at all. My name is Miss Michelle Jean, and I'm joined by the rest of the Newbcast crew here this evening. Go ahead and just go around and just do what we've been playing, and we'll just kind of dive into things after that. That said, Mr. I'm never late to a show or missing one, Hippo, welcome to the show.
Hi, hello.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
Almost great. I'm having issues with Twitch at the moment. Nothing bad. I'll let you guys know what's going on later in the podcast. I just had a brilliant stroke of genius, and Twitch is saying, So, hi, hello, it's me, the Hipponanimous.
It is you. Hippo,
it me.
What have you been playing? What have you been up to? It's been a while.
Yes, it has been months. It's been months.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't too long. I know, right? I think the last podcast I was on, it was before 2020.
Was it really? Oh, that's right. You weren't on the Decade Show.
By definition.
Yeah, you weren't on the Decade Show. That's right. Yeah.
I missed that one. I never miss a show. I never miss a show.
Miss a show.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen you perform the role of Mish. In fairness,
it's true. I've never even tried to just be her for like 2 seconds. So, what are we talking about?
I don't know what. I thought maybe we would be talking about what you've been up to, but clearly we went a whole different direction with that.
We're 5 seconds into the podcast and already we derailed.
Hey, I mean, that's how 2020 started, so...
Welcome to the Newbcast podcast, where we don't ever stay on topic.
Where we had a topic?
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, what did I even play? Heck, you guys, I've done so much stuff. In the last, 2 months, I've been addicted to House Flipper, Fishing Planet. We played a heckin' load of Monopoly Plus, which it's okay. It's buggy. Played a lot of golf with your friends. What was that? Monopoly Plus, yes. On the front page, we were playing Monopoly Plus. You can imagine how that goes.
So, I hate having to say this, but Monopoly is like one of the worst board games out there. Like, you don't make a lot of decisions, there's not a lot of strategy involved, it's really by and large a matter of chance, and if you can persuade somebody to give you all of the orange properties and take them for blue because blue's a little bit less expensive. That's it. That's like all you need to do in Monopoly. So how is this different?
So Monopoly Plus is a Monopoly game, but it's board game. It has a living board or whatever you want to call it, and it's just things are moving around. It's not just a flat, boring board, which you can play, which I don't know why they included, but they did. I did it.
Oh!
I'll let you guys know a little bit later what I did.
I need to know
Monopoly
more.
Plus. Yeah. I will. Monopoly Plus is a game where it's just Monopoly, but you play with your friends online, which is great because I have a lot of friends who are not here. In fact, almost all of my friends are online. So, I mean, even Simcopter is in, Sonoma Valley. We got people from the East Coast. We were playing with community members, so people from San Diego, from Washington State, from different countries even. So it was good. It is Monopoly. I'm not a fan, but I played it because I wanted to spend time with my friends, and no one really had an issue. We had like one issue with somebody being kind of a jerk, but it is what it is. So we're all friends still. It was just
There's always
when
one.
you meme,
There's always one.
it's when you meme too hard and the other person kind of memes back, and then you can't take that meme. It was that.
The social glass cannon.
Yeah, it was it was just one of those cases, which, I mean, it happens, right? It's fine, and everyone's still friends and stuff. It was just well, we played a lot. We played probably 20 hours of Monopoly in like a 3-week period, and a majority of that was on the front page. So I was surprised by the lack of trolls about Monopoly. There were definitely backseaters and stuff. They're like, well, that's not really the most optimal play. And we're like, dude, we're playing this to hang out with our friends. Like, it's fine.
I'm just I love the fact that that's what you played on the front page was Monopoly.
Monopoly Plus. Yeah. That's Sims. That was Simcopter's idea.
I mean, the bonus is everybody at least knows Monopoly, so
it's true.
Whether
or not, if you don't, you kind of figure it out while you're playing too. Like, I hadn't played since I was 15, so it wasn't too bad. It was a lot of fun. What was that?
Any bad beats where you're like, oh gosh, as long as I don't hit this one spot, and I hit that one spot and I'm done.
Yes, that's pretty much how we all lost to Sim. Sim is a very good Monopoly player. Even when he's about to die, he makes these weird trades and plays, and you're like, how are you still alive? And then he comes back and wins everything. So we're like, I don't know how he does it, but he did it. And we had a lot of fun with Monopoly. I played a lot of Cooking Simulator, which, by the way, is a fantastic game, which is very fun. It's super buggy and difficult because it's buggy, but it's a lot of fun nonetheless. I don't know if you guys have played Cooking Simulator before. So you basically are a chef and you run a kitchen by yourself. You are the chef and you're making everything. And I was flipping a patty for a burger, and it went through the frying pan into the countertop twice. So
so it went well.
I had probably 3 patties go into the countertop. I had an epic struggle to flip salmon, which it seems like the most basic thing to flip a patty, but when when the game is buggy and glitchy and not very, it's like Hand Simulator. I don't know if you've ever played Hand Simulator. It's like Surgeon Simulator.
Yes.
Where you're like, pressing buttons and they control different parts of the hand, but yeah, that's fun. We just did a charity stream all week actually with a good friend, and we played for the first time in like a year. We played Farm Together, which is, if you've never played Farm Together, it's basically Farmville, like a mobile game, I guess, almost, but on PC. And it's a lot of fun though. It's like really calming, very zen, and it's just really good for podcasty kind of games where you like, if you don't want to go into the podcasting thing and you want to like play a game with somebody, but like just chill out, perfect game for that. But yeah. Oh yeah, I tried to play Uno one time. One time.
Uno, which is
Uno time.
Yeah.
Uno is probably the buggiest game I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't even know how this happened, but I started the game we got into like an actual match with like 4 or 5 people, and while I was live, it deleted my filters on my microphone and
Ooh.
boosted my mic to 100% in Windows.
Ooh.
I've never seen that. I've streamed for nearly 3 years, and I've never seen a game do something. It was very special.
Wow.
I had to end and it took me like 3 days to get my microphone back. It's still not 100%. I'm still working on it.
Yikes,
Needless
that's
to say,
insane.
I have like an AT2020 USB mic, and I'm using Voice Meter Banana, and it's good, but it's not an XLR mic, and so I almost went and bought one, but they're so expensive. It's like $650 to jump into it, and it's like you could get like a cheaper one, but if I'm going XLR, I'm getting the Shure SM7B. Like it's just a thing I'm gonna do, So
No, I hear you.
For anybody who doesn't know microphones, are all like, yeah, absolutely. That's the Shure SM.
The Shure SM7B is like the
black dong.
standard podcast. I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, that is what it's known as. The black dong is what it's known as. It's basically just a giant black microphone in your face. Mish, tell us more.
Why don't you clearly are the expert on this microphone at this point. I just happen to know what it's also known as.
I mean,
no, it's for those that don't know, it's actually a really good dynamic microphone, and definitely if you're going to go the dynamic microphone route, it is the way to go. So I don't blame you for wanting to go that route.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that eventually, but it's $650 is like a steep jump into it, and I got some pretty decent audio. I know it doesn't sound all that great through Discord, but I promise you, it sounds better on stream. Discord is like one of those weird chat client type things.
It really is. So one of the other games I haven't hear you say that you have been playing lately, I've seen you playing, and there's a few times like I should really jump in on that, but I'm usually like knees deep in some freaking RP situation. I'm like, fuck, because I really want to hit. Excuse me for this. I really want to smack some balls around with Golf with Your Friends.
That is the thing that you said. Just for the record, everyone in chat and everyone listening right now, I am not the instigator here. It is Michelle. It's usually me. It's usually me. This time it's not. It's definitely her. I don't know what's gotten into you.
Nope, not answering that question.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
wow.
Golf with Your Friends is something I've noticed that you've been playing a bit too, and
we've gone back to that. Yes.
Yeah. How's that been? Any updates with that? With that game, or is it pretty much how we left it?
It's definitely up. It's better, but still pretty not that great. It's a great game, but it's buggy,
Yeah, it's always seemed to me like the game is enjoyable because of the multiplayer, and maybe to a small extent because of the bugs. Like when you first get into it, you're like, "Oh, that's really funny that happened." The fourth or fifth time, I'm done.
The fourth or fifth time, you're like slow. That shouldn't. You should just. But you're like slowly, and you're whoa! I'm running out of time. And then because you're winning, you're like, "Oh heck yeah, I'm winning!" And then you don't.
I've had that happen before in games, especially with games that we've all been involved in. Been there. Yep.
So I just want to say, I may or may not have. This is what I was working on while we were just going live. It is official. I now have the account That One Boomer.
No! Internet, come on!
The internet knows.
Yeah, the internet's saying screw you right now.
Oh.
The internet knows exactly what's going on and is like, "Oh, you're a boomer? We're gonna shut off the internet for you right now." That's great.
Oh man, leave that one. Boom. I
I-
feel like I shouldn't have done that and announced it on me, but here we are.
I don't think it's you guys. Because
Hmm.
this is looking pretty pixelated at the moment too. One sec, guys. We're gonna try something here.
It's just the new makeup I'm trying.
Uh-oh. Oh no, the kind of glitched out there for
Yeah, it does. It will.
It's difficulties. I thought it was just my bad because it's basically bad right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not just your side. Good times. This is what happens when you go live and you do the entire show live and it's not pre-recorded. This is what happens, guys.
Yeah. Fine.
This is the quality, real, authentic experience you've been asking for.
Yeah, I think most are pretty used to like the fact that streamers, well, sometimes bad things happen and you're live. Like your internet dies and you're like, well, guess I can't stream.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. I think those are all the games that you've pretty much been playing then, right? Right, Hippo?
Yes. I don't think I've played anything. Oh, just like lots of Stardew. Lots of Stardew, some Pokemon, just kind of like random stuff, really. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I played
That's right.
Car Mechanic Simulator for like 30 minutes, but the game was all buggy and glitchy, so I couldn't continue playing. So that's fun.
So you've been playing a lot of simulator games is basically what I'm catching out of all of this.
Yes. I mean, that's pretty much primarily what I stream anyway, but I just went like hard into streaming only simulation games for a while.
Right. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else to add to the list of games, since I mean, it's been a couple months, I get that. So if that's everything,
well, most of them I just like fired off which ones I played, you know.
Sure.
Nothing special happened. Cooking Simulator is so much fun. I might be addicted. I feel like I should play that game off stream because it doesn't seem like everyone's really interested in the game anymore, but me, I love it. I love it so much. I'm freaking Gordon Ramsay, okay?
Or there's that one anime with the red-haired guy, Shukugeki no Soma. Food Wars. Do you know Food Wars?
Oh, I know Food Wars.
You said sounds. I don't know.
So just search for Food Wars sometime wherever you get your animes. And
I don't get animes, but you know.
I really, you don't? Man, I thought you loved anime.
There's an emote in chat right now that says otherwise. I don't hate anime. I like to lean into the meme though. It's pretty fun.
But definitely that style. I hope
I still have no idea what you mean, but
so it is your typical Japanese school situation, except we're going to make it extreme and about food. And everybody has a ridiculous personality, and it's a life or death situation. Pretty much every day you go to class.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And you have to make the best food. And if you don't make the best food, then you're trash and you need to go home. So basically that.
It's a Great British Bake Off?
No. Great British Bake Off is fun and happy, and we're a team, but we have to let someone go. Totally
it's fun and happy, but you suck at cooking. Get the hell out of here. By the way, I will watch that show. I will binge that show. I love that show.
Oh my gosh. If they turn that into a game, if they branded a cooking game as Great British Baking Show,
I would buy that. I wouldn't even
100%.
ask for it. I wouldn't even ask for it like from the PR guys. I would legit buy that game. I would like give them my money for that game.
Most definitely.
You all right there, Mish?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't know if you are fine. I'm fine though.
How are you? I'm good. Good. You? I'm fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're all fine here now.
Right.
Everything is fine. Definitely not on
What's
fire.
your identification number?
Definitely not.
Right.
This is a boring conversation, anyways.
Look, we had to work in a Star Wars reference somehow, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hippo, if that's everything, then
Wait. Have you guys? I know that we've talked about this on stream before. Wars came like.
wait for it, guys. Waiting for the delay.
Oh,
It's coming through.
Oh, hey. Do you want me to host a call? Yeah, have you guys played the Star Wars game, or is that just not like a thing that you guys want to do?
I haven't, and I can't say I've got a lot of interest in it. I give the Unabridged Gamer a lot of credit for kind of dissuading me from it. I know it's gotten some good reviews, and I know as a lore master, the Unabridged Gamer was very, very critical of it, and I tend to enjoy storyline and plot and fitting it into the universe. So to hear that from him has definitely kept me away from it for a little bit. Maybe it's something that I'll get when it's lower in cost, but I'm not.
Oh, for sure. I'm saying that I played it and I enjoyed it, and I thought it was more of like a Dark Souls game, but it's more of an adventure game.
So okay, that helps knowing. Some of the feedback I had heard is that it's a lot like a Dark Souls game, which I don't care for Dark Souls. So hearing that, I'm like,
I don't either.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't need that.
When you look at, I think we talked about this too. I think we talked about this, but it's been 2 months. But yeah, like it seems like a Dark Souls game when you watch it, and but when you play it, it does not play like one. Like maybe a little bit, but there's so much that you can do. Like it plays more like an Assassin's Creed, like that kind of that style of combat, but it looks like Dark Souls.
Okay.
Now that
because there's so much that you can do, so many, like, you know, block the bolts and shoot them back and counter crazy strong enemies and stuff, and then you have, like, you know, you have the force to like slow people down and push them around and stuff and make them do crazy stuff. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, it plays more like Assassin's Creed than it does a Dark Souls game. But it looks like Dark Souls when you watch people play it. You're like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to play Dark Souls Star Wars. Well, I don't.
Assassin
I'm
Wars.
sure some people are like, that's amazing. Not me.
Star Creed?
Mm.
No, I mean, if that's how the combat, I mean, if that's how you're hearing something like that, like if I that was more of what I heard, then yeah, I'd probably be on board for just going back. And even now, it's been out for what, 4 months?
3 months, 2 months. Yeah, I don't know.
3 months, yeah.
I think it came out in November, didn't it?
Yeah, so
yeah,
3 months. Okay.
Yeah, right along the same time as Death Stranding, and no, there was one that came along with it that everybody was like, you're either going to be this person and buy the Star Wars game, or you're going to be this person. I'm trying to remember what it was. Maybe Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
We talked
Wait,
about
didn't it come out in October? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm sorry to derail.
No!
Michelle, what have you been playing? What have you been doing?
Oh, we're going straight to me? Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're going straight to you.
I was going to try to get Diz in, but I suppose if we want to go ahead and get myself in.
Why don't you both talk at the same time and we'll just listen to one or the other?
We could put one in the left ear, one in the right ear.
Mm-hmm.
ASMR this? Oh, goodness. No.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now.
I mean, if we want to talk about myself, we can go ahead and... It's been a lot of the same stuff. I've been, of course, doing a lot of RP. I've done this dumb thing, and I've taken on additional responsibilities on our RP server, so I do more things now.
This is not a typical niche thing ever to take more responsibility than is necessary, by the way.
Yeah, right?
I feel fucking called out right now. Thanks,
everyone. We've known you for some time.
We appreciate you for it. Recognize this as an honor.
Yeah, no. I've been doing that basically on the Crew RP server where I do GTRP. I've joined the event team, so I played a lot of new additional side characters. What's been really cool is because I'm not playing just white hat characters right now, I've actually had the opportunity to RP with people that I don't normally RP with. And it's like, hey, how long have you been on the server? Wow, I'm glad I get to interact with you now. And I've met some awesome people doing that too. And have more events coming up. In fact, this next week, my entire stream schedule's shuffled around because of events and such that are coming up. Like we're doing a demo derby again on Friday. That should be fun. We've done demo derbies before in RP, and because the way the cars actually just stop running after a while. Yeah, it's actually fun. It's actually a lot of fun to do the demo derby. So I've been doing a lot of RP. I've been doing a lot of Elite Dangerous. I've been serving the Empire, and I feel like a filthy human for having done so.
Hey, welcome to the Empire.
Welcome to the dark side.
I am about.
It's not the dark side. It is the side.
Well,
Bask.
I get it. I know.
Yeah, Bask.
No. I'm half a rank away from getting my cutter. So.
Oh, it's about heckin' time. It's only been 3 years.
Hey. No judgment from me. No, I'm
priorities.
Exactly. I had to get that vet first.
You went. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I had to get my vet
more like
first.
trade and exploration, so that's why I went for the cutter before.
Yeah, no, that made a lot more sense. But the Federation, is where it's at. So that's why I had to get my vet.
Space America.
Right? Uber capitalism. No, it's been. I found that. So rep grinding in any large game is such a boring thing to do. And I'm thankful that the one thing that made it just palatable is having the community come in and just chat with you, and I get to chat with them while I'm going through this grind. Because if it wasn't for that, I'm pretty sure I would have gone even more insane than I already am.
Yeah, that was the one thing that made grinding in WoW okay, was you had your guild chat and you could be like, oh, hey guys, I'm doing dailies, and then be like, yeah, dailies suck.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, this is like a streamer to streamer question,
sure,
but have you noticed that if you play a game off stream and you're enjoying it, it's not as fun without chat?
Yes.
Because chat's kind of broken me in that when I play games by myself, I'm like, this is fun, but I don't have my friends here watching. It's not that great. It could be better, is what I mean to say.
Yeah, no, my RP is the only exception to that, where I'm usually so in tune with what I'm doing that I not having chat there as something that I also address, because I'm one of those RPers that while I'm streaming it, I do talk to chat. Not everyone does that. I do. Right? I find that's incredibly important, because that chat, you're part of the community. You're here. We're hanging out. We're chatting. We're talking about the stories that's going on right in front of us as it's happening. But with other games like Elite Dangerous, it's really, really difficult. The only exception to those type of games and not having chat there and having it be fun is when you're playing a game that's in VR.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Because you have so much stuff going on around you that having chat not there. I mean, you have your entire cockpit around you, right? And space in front of you. Yeah.
I think it would be really cool. I don't know if I don't have VR and I've never played anything in VR, but I feel like it would be really cool to look over to your right or your left and see chat on one of the panels. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
So there is a way to do that, kind of. So there's software that's on Steam. It's called Live Gaming. Live allows you to put a stream panel into your VR visor. So, like, realistically, one of the things I've looked at and I may circle back on is my Elite stream may be a VR Elite stream.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I would just have chat like up here or up here while I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing.
I feel like that's really good for when you have bigger ships like an Anaconda. Like, you can just kind of put chat somewhere and just like look up, and it's just like there, you know?
Well, just even something like one of the things I was flying around for a while I was working on some rep grinding was a T9. Like, even in your T9, that's... Don't judge me. I see that look.
I'm not judging at all.
I like my
It's
69.
look, it's known as the fat bottom girl. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, anyways, before the judgment look, even flying around a T9 or my my Beluga, just those cockpits. Any of those cockpits are large enough you can just throw it somewhere. Yeah. Even right now, I'm using my ASP to finish my grind, right? And that's
Oh yeah, I have all the ships except for the Corvette, and I still only use my ASP because it's a great ship, insane jump range. I can do pretty much anything I want in it. I don't have to worry about it being too big. I can dock and not have to worry about hitting people, and it's just I'm in out. I can bring cargo, whatever. Unless I'm like trading, that's my cutter, you know.
I kind of want to do another trek out with the cutter eventually, but the problem is I've agreed to do some training with a certain corgi.
Dude, I have not seen Greats in a while. Well, he rated me like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
He's hunting monsters.
But other than that,
he's like, so the agreement was that once I got back to the bubble, we'd talk about fuel rat training. Right? I'm back in the bubble. I've actually completely grinded out a faction's rep to the point of getting their flagship. Whereas I would like to do my fuel rat training now.
Oh yeah. I'm still parked 15,000 light years outside the bubble from when we were doing the expedition.
Get back
like,
here.
We all went to the Sagittarius A star, which is, if you don't know, it's the black hole in the center of our galaxy. And we all went out there, and then I came back, and I was coming back, and then I just stopped playing. And I'm still out. It's been like 7 months, and I'm still out there.
I'll tell you what, if you're not going to use that Rhino, I'll gladly use it.
I need to get back. I'm waiting for like a big update to bring in more viewers and stuff back to that game, because as much as I love Elite, it's got a very small community. Like, it's very small.
Yeah. I don't disagree. They're dedicated, don't get me wrong, but
absolutely. And in fact, I've seen somebody who went from like an average of 15 viewers to getting partner or unlocking partner. I don't know if he got partner, but I mean, just seeing him way back during that time, you know, he just started out. He had 15-ish viewers. You would rate him sometimes. And then now he's unlocked partner, like the application and stuff. Twitch probably won't do it, but that's another story. That's another topic. But
yeah,
right. But it's just really good to see, you know. But again, it's like they only decide certain people to go watch, and it's a very small community.
No, you're exactly right, and there's a lot of content expected in the near future.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for like a new update, new DLC to drop, something to entice those people who were already into Elite to come back. I mean, they did a great job with promoting the expedition that happened, which was like the biggest expedition in Elite Dangerous history. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that last year, because you were streaming at the same time I was doing it exclusively, and it was the expedition in addition to that huge fuel rat rescue that was happening on the opposite end of the galaxy in the darkness. Yeah. Like, that was all happening at once. There was a lot of stuff going on in the game at that point. And Frontier tried to capitalize on it with some content, and there was stuff for brand new.
They did a good job.
Yeah, they added a lot of stuff to the game, and for new commanders, they made it a heck of a lot easier now. Like, the tutorial in learning the game makes the learning curve not a vertical perpendicular to the ground type of curve. It's just more like this now, where it's steep, but you can actually traverse it.
Back in my day, when I first started playing Elite Dangerous, the introduction was fight. That was it. It was fight.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't even know the control. I don't know how do I shoot?
Yep.
How do I go forward? I don't know. But yeah, Frontier has come a very long way with Elite Dangerous, and I have to say, maybe I should look into like partnering with them or something, because I do love pretty much every game that they've come out with. So, and I've streamed every single game that they've come out with. So maybe I should do that because they're freaking awesome. And I may be addicted to Elite Dangerous, even though I go months and months without playing. I always come back to it, you know?
If you need someone
Since,
in
like,
your wing, just gonna put it out there.
Since 2015 is when I started playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you need
I've
someone in
taken
your wing.
like 6 months off here and there, but I do love that game still. It's still like a very near and dear. I have 1,300 hours or almost 1,400 hours in Elite Dangerous. Kind of love the game.
Slowly catching up to you. I've got 550, 600 in it now. I'm catching up with you, Hippo.
Have you finally recommended it to others on Steam?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I've recommended like 2 games on Steam. I feel like I shouldn't be a curator, but like somebody that I know was like, you know what you need to do? This is like a year and a half, actually probably like 3 years after curation came out. He's like, you're going to get big if you just curate games. I'm like, I play 3 games. What do you want me to do? Here's 3 games, everyone. I'm a curator. 3 games.
Your principles are very demanding, and that's why those 3 games are in.
I played RimWorld for like 7 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
It was a New Year's resolution. It was a New Year's resolution that I would only play like, I'd only buy like 20 games or something like that the whole year. So I was like, I gotta make sure.
And the funny thing is, I remember us talking about that on the show, right? Because you talked about 2018 and how many freaking games you played in 2018. You're like,
I spent like $2,000 on games in like 2018. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. $2,000 in video games? I could buy like a really crappy car with that. So I decided not to do that. And so I played RimWorld, and it was a great game. And I burned myself out on it, and it's another one of those games that I love, but I'm probably not going to go back to for quite some time.
Yeah.
Just like Elite.
So
unless there's like a huge patch or like content, I'm done.
So I'm going to circle back on this later. So just hold on to these thoughts, because or put a pin in it, because you're talking about some stuff that I was going to ask about later. So pin in it, bam, right?
So what else have you been playing, Mish? I think that was
the best
where we derailed.
Yep. That's a good derail. No, I've been doing that. I've been doing Elite. I've been doing a lot of Magic Arena. Played a lot of Magic Arena. I had this great blue-black deck. It was actually courtesy of Twitch Prime. I made a couple small modifications to it to make it my own, but oof, it is mean.
I mean, when is blue not mean, though?
With black and amassing a zombie army that suddenly turns into a 13/13 flying creature that just crushes whatever's in front of. Yeah, it's fun.
You're saying words, and I am aware that they are
Smile
words,
and nod,
but
Hippo.
I don't know.
Smile and nod. Here.
There
you go.
13,
Bravo.
13?
Bravo. Bravo. Okay.
Yeah, if you're not into Magic the Gathering to the level where you can understand what's going on, I am so sorry. Because there is no returning from this void, and there's like nobody who goes in between, and it's like, oh hey, here's what's going on. Especially on Twitch, like you see top performers or you see people who are casually playing, and that's about it.
Are we good, guys? I'm actually looking at chat right now because I saw my box go red. I'm like, come on.
Oh, your camera is frozen on stream? Oh no, it's fine.
Okay. I think we're good. Okay. Whew. The Angry Badger just got back involved with it. He I don't know, raged about the Peach background and everything.
If you're here watching live and you are noticing frame drops and buffers, that would be the Angry Badger being angry.
Yes.
We let loose an Angry Badger in Michelle's internet and in her network, so
yeah. Unfortunately, if we don't cooperate, it gets fed a little kitten. No. So I've been playing Arena. I've been playing a fair amount of that. I'm just trying to consider what else have I been doing a lot of. That and Guild Wars. I've been playing some Guild Wars.
Okay.
I've been playing.
Whoa! You're playing Guild Wars again? What is this?
Yeah.
What was the last
She
time you
keeps
played Guild
coming back.
Wars? I know, right?
Small little tidbits here and there.
Okay.
It's just so one of our guild members reached out and was like, hey, we want to do this raid with a bunch of minions, so we're gonna have 10 necromancers in a raid with a bunch of minions.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Exactly. So I've been working on getting some rep for our gear for that character. I'm trying to get at least not ascended but exotic gear at least, so I can actually do the raid. Do it all Condi damage and just go in and see what happens. It's gonna be a freaking mess, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because of 4 minions per player times 10, so you're looking at 40 minions plus the 10 players all doing damage.
So basically, your server is stress testing.
Kind of.
But that sounds like a blast.
Right?
Yeah.
I would dust off my old Necromancer for that. And I have not played Guild Wars 2 in a long time.
We're still looking for people to
probably
add
would.
to it.
I think my last stream with you playing it, I think I'm done. I love it, but it's just I'm done. Yeah, I gotta move on. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good game. But I gotta hang up my boots. I know.
Yeah, sometimes you have that with games. It's why I'm never touching WoW.
Gosh, when was that? When did that game even come out? Like, it's been
Guild Wars 2?
Yeah.
2012.
I was like dating this girl and we broke up, and I played it with her when it came out. Yeah. August 28th, 2012. Yep. It is now February 16th, 2020. It's been quite some time.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out because she was like addicted to it, so we played a lot of it.
Yeah, beta testing started for it, or just development and testing started for it in late 2010 and went through 2011 and 12. I remember watching videos of a couple different YouTubers that were covering the game at the time. And the only thing I wish is I would have I was such a WoW snob at the time. Like, it's blah, I won't. And now it's my MMO choice. It's my MMO to go to. And
I mean, when it first came out, we were talking about it and playing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. We both did, yeah.
Yeah. Launch was super exciting, and then it was suddenly not, let's go back to WoW.
Mm-hmm. But now...
Poor WildStar.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did hear that fans were bringing back WildStar servers. Let me Google this really quick.
I've heard that too, but I haven't seen anything about it yet.
I'm not willing to research it any further than that because, like, private servers, unless they get the nod of the developer, I don't want to get involved in it. I don't want to touch it and risk enjoying something to disappear.
But I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it too much, but I from what I heard, it was pretty legit.
Well, you run into that with a lot of older games like that, right? Just like Galaxies had the same thing where people are spinning up private servers and people are playing that. Yeah.
The private servers? Heck yeah. Speaking of private servers, I know this is like a total tangent, and I'm sorry, Michelle. but have you guys played EverQuest Project 1999?
No. In fairness, I didn't play the original EverQuest.
Yep, never touched
that. Well, I don't.
That one boomer.
Yeah, that one boomer indeed. I don't suggest, if you've never played EverQuest, especially Classic, way back in the day, to play Project 1999 because you will probably hate it. But I loved it. That was my go-to, my very first MMO. So I went back and I played it, and I was like, "Oh right, this is a hard game." All right, yeah, they don't handhold.
Well,
what were drop rates like on items then? It was like 100th of 1% chance to get that one rare item that you wanted to get.
I remember camping like J boots or like getting all the stuff for J boots and journeyman boots that made you run faster for freaking ever. Like the fungi tunic took weeks to get. Anyway, I won't bore you. Michelle, I'm so sorry that I keep derailing the whole podcast. What have you been playing? I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna sip my tea, okay? I promise I'll stop talking.
I'm just making sure we're good here.
We'll
We're good.
see.
We're good. Okay. I think we covered everything except VR games. I've been doing Audica and Synth Riders still, using that to burn calories, using your Fit as the app to do that.
Yeah, I need to get back into Audica. When I first got my VR, I was playing it a ton and I really liked it. And then I realized that I have neighbors, and those neighbors may not want to hear me dancing around all the time. So I've been a little bit more cautious about it.
Uh-huh.
And by that, I mean, I haven't actually had the VR ready to play for myself probably in about a month. That's always my big concern, is the noise. Like,
so we talked about it on the show before, but since she was here, one of the things that it still happens is one of the big motivators for me to play both Synth and Audica is that I compete with Carice on her scores. And boy, do we let each other know when the other's beaten the scores on the scoreboard. Like, I have one message from her. It's like, hey, I just want to remind you that I love you and that you're an awesome person, but I fucking destroyed your scores in Audica. Good luck. I'm like, great.
That reminds me when we were playing Just Cause 3. Yeah, and we were trying to beat each other's scores and like distance glided. That was so much fun.
I remember that. You know how much time it took me to get to the top of the mountain to glide down to get that? I was probably working on that for a good hour.
And you would pop in and be like, hey, guess what I did? And I'm like, all right, we're headed back to the mountain, everyone.
No, the fact that she is just as competitive, yeah, I hear about it when my scores are beat, so it's a constant back and forth. Audica, I get my scores beat pretty regular, but Synth Riders, I rank pretty high in those. My accuracy rate's right around the 60% mark with a smaller collider, so I'm pretty accurate. 60% perfect hits.
I don't know what that means, but you flex those nerd muscles.
Well,
and real muscles too.
Yeah, well, that right? No, it's so you've seen the game, right? Where you're holding two spheres and you're basically collecting other spheres come down the. I'm saying spheres for a reason. And you're collecting them, moving to the rhythm, right? That percentage is this an accurate, like a perfect catch versus like an off center catch or a poor catch. At 60% is at the perfect tier. Which
so what you're saying is you have really good hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
I see. I've never seen it and I've never played it because I don't have VR. I'm a poor pleb, Pepe hands, or as Simcopter says, Pepe feet, which is an emote, by the way. But yeah, I've never played it. So when you're saying these things, I'm like, go on. I definitely understand what you're talking about.
It's
I feel so out of the loop, you guys. I feel like such a boomer.
All you need to do at this point is just dye your hair silver, and you'll have the
it's
whole.
It's already going silver over here. People come into my chat. They're like, "Hippo, do you have gray hair?" I'm like, yes, I do. Good job on using your eyes.
It's you're going for the silver fox look. It's okay. It's all good.
I'm just lazy and I don't feel like spending money on dye.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Or like my hair doesn't exist, so why not take the rest of it off?
Are you going gray? Is that gray hair? What are you talking about?
I still have a beard here, and it's still real, and that hurts my feelings.
I like to say that your haircut is efficient. You take a shower and then you're done.
It's true. Although you have to bick this pretty regularly, like
every
if
day,
I want to
basically.
Basically, yeah, I can sneak a day without feeling awful about it, but if it's more than a day, I definitely know I'm not like looking the way I want to. And then it's usually about day 4 or 5 that I actually do something about it. So
fair. Yeah, I do the same. Like, well, it's fine. I don't need to shave. I'm lazy, and then I'm like, I kind of look like a bum, or I have mange. One of the two. Both. Why not both? So I have to shave.
Lovely.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everything I've been playing. I'm sure there's some stuff on the Switch I've been playing too, but it's stuff I've already talked about. Nothing really new.
Oh. Have you guys played Snack World yet?
Mm-mm.
Snack World.
It is a dungeon grind, but in that you're going around in Snack World. I just and then I had to go to bed, but it's really cool looking. Snack World just came out like 2 days ago, and it's super cute, and I love it already. So
This is apparently going to be the year of food.
Yeah. Oh, I played Cook Serve Delicious 3, like right at launch, which is great. I actually got a copy for free, which is awesome. The devs gave me a copy, and 2 of our friends that I've hung out with in real life were voice actors for it. So I was like, this is just great. This is like the best thing. Like, I was fanboying. I was fanboying.
Yeah, I've not played that yet. No, on my Switch has been pretty much dedicated to Smash right at this point. So,
I'm not a Smash fan, but I definitely I respect those of you who are addicted to it.
I got characters to unlock, yo.
Wait, you mean Fire Emblem featuring Nintendo?
wait, there is a Fire Emblem, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, there's
there's
a Fire Emblem, and then there's a Fire Emblem, and then there's Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem Edition, basically. Now, those both exist.
I've never played any Fire Emblem games, but I hear they're very good.
They're pretty fun. Yeah, if you like turn by turn strategy, it's a pretty fun one.
Yeah, and Three Houses in particular has a lot of replay value. I'm hearing about people playing it for 100, 120 hours, like Persona 5 level, and still want to play more, which is shocking.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
Because, yeah, there's just a lot of story. There are a lot of alternate paths that you can take that are of interest to people. And yeah, if you want to go down a rabbit hole and really get to know a game super, super well and be proud of all of the stuff that you know that nobody else does, Three Houses is it.
I'm gonna have to look into that, because I've been meaning to play more stuff on my Switch. Like, I bought the Switch and I've played like 5 games. I have like 15, and I've played like 5 of them, and I thought I would play it a lot more than I actually have, you know?
That's strange to me, because I wasn't expecting I'd play as much Switch as I have. It gets much more love than my PS4 does, I'm sorry to say. And
I feel the same.
The computer inside it is nowhere near what that PS4 Pro has, but the games that are out there just make it very appealing. And I mean, Nintendo's done extremely well on it. They just recently surpassed their SNES sales.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
And so that leaves them the Wii and the NES to get ahead of as best console.
I don't know if they can beat the NES. Like, that is like, it's a classic. There's so many people that bought it. I don't know. I don't know if they can. I mean, I hope they do, because I want them to continue succeeding and making good games, but
I mean, I think that platform is going to last for a lot longer, so I don't know how it wouldn't. And
the Switch?
I think, yeah.
Okay. I have no idea. I haven't looked at any projections of like how popular it is.
Well, I mean, that was one of the things that we were going to talk about, but yeah, no, you're right. That definitely happened. Because it's what the Switch and the NES that they own. How did the Switch sales compare to, say, the Game Boy?
That's a really good question. I don't know versus original Game Boy. I do know other portables. So, like the 3DS right now is completely dwarfed by what the Switch has done so far.
Sure.
And I imagine, even with 3DS sales, I would say that was a relatively popular console, like for mobile.
Yeah.
Probably not as much as like original Game Boy Color, but given that, I bet you that those consoles are still lower.
Let's see if I can
in total sales.
Because I feel like what were we saying before? That it's the Wii and the NES that it still has to beat out, right?
That is correct. Yeah, the NES is the top seller, and I mean, it literally like pulled Atari from the market, right?
Mhm.
And Genesis existed for a later period of time and had a certain niche that allowed it to do its thing. But Nintendo really was the one and only way back when.
Mm-hmm.
When I was but a wee kid.
When you were...
And I don't know why that was Irish.
I almost made another boomer joke, but I feel like I've beaten that dead horse into the ground.
That poor horse.
I know.
Look, I know you're familiar with horses. You rode on them for an extended period of time.
Red Dead really taught me how to ride a horse and not be afraid of them, and also throw them off cliffs and punch them in the butt. So if you if you ever want to learn how to ride a horse or punch one in the butt, go play some Red Dead Redemption 2. You'll accidentally do it all the time.
That's still my favorite AFK video of yours.
I love it so much.
I'm just trying to find information here quick. I'm not finding it right now.
We'll grab it for later. Not a big deal.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna keep trying to say anything else. I played. Jason, what have you played? What have you been playing, huh?
So the segue I was hoping for was the last time that we got together, I said, "Hey, I just got Tokyo Mirage Sessions Encore. This is so cool." And as it turns out, I've been very pleasantly surprised with the experience. There have been a couple of things. It feels like they're just giving you that slight hint of Fire Emblem, like going to a fine restaurant and they give you this wonderful thing that you're not sure if it's ice cream or pudding, but you have it, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is very, very Persona with a slight hint of Fire Emblem. They reference a couple of Fire Emblem characters, but that's about it. It's Persona before Persona.
Okay.
And in that regard, it definitely was going to be up my alley, no questions asked there. The actual gameplay, turn-based, strategic, very fun. And the storyline is much more lighthearted, poppy than Persona is. Persona gets super heavy-duty into it, but it also takes a lot less time to play. I'm just about done with the game, and I think I've got 40 hours played. And I've been going into all of the side missions and doing all of the extra content that they released with the Switch presentation of it.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, definitely worth the time for anyone who enjoys a good turn-based RPG. Is it award-winning? Nope. But definitely worth the time, I would say.
Okay. Very nice.
Oh, and no phallic-shaped monsters. I can tell you that. It is much safer for families.
Good. Yeah, because in Persona, that wasn't creepy at all. No.
They had a few creatures in there that were super creepy, and not just that particular one that we're all kind of avoiding talking about, but not.
Right. So, hey, I know this derails right back to what we were talking about, but the Switch is nowhere near the Game Boy right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember having a Game Boy when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're getting, well, I was gonna say, I feel like if you're getting them forever ago, I mean,
118.69 million versus whatever the Switch is at right now. They've got a little ways to go.
No, the Switch is higher than that. I'm pretty sure higher than 116 million.
Not
Really?
what I'm looking at, but
It's like quite a bit lower.
Maybe I've got my numbers wrong.
Forbes, I'm not logging in. I'm not giving you an account. Get out of here.
yeah, everything
I've
I see
got it
right now
now.
is from December 31st. So I mean, the last couple months could add to whatever numbers there right now. But
Oh, you know what? I bet you they probably have like skyrocketed because of Animal Crossing.
yeah, maybe.
Mm,
But you're right. I mean, the SNES was recently surpassed, so that's a thing. And
okay.
the NES is coming up really, really quick. It's being surpassed by the Switch.
Wait a second. So that means that the Wii sold better than the NES? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The NES had 61.9 million versus the Wii's 101 million.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, my mind is. I disagree with the universe. I can't believe that many people had a Wii.
Oh, I absolutely can. The way the Wii was advertised and the way that it was marketed as being something that wasn't just for hardcore gamers, and it was something that was in casual households around many countries. I am absolutely willing to believe that wholeheartedly.
Wow.
Because how many
Wow.
grandparents or parents that had it at their homes that, I mean, they may have only gotten it for like Wii bowling, but they got it.
Yeah. My dad did like his Wii bowling, that's for sure.
There you go. Exactly.
I wish the Switch had better motion caps so that would be a lot more fun than it is. Like, from my experience at least, the motion controls are not the best. Like, I played Switch Boxing, which is okay, but it sometimes doesn't register that you punched, and sometimes it's just that or Pokemon, like where you like have to fling the ball.
Oh yeah, the Let's
the
Go
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon Let's Go. Yeah, like that
Yeah.
one was okay. It was a little bit better. I think it might have to do with like the software too. I don't know.
It could. I do know the first generation controllers for the Switch had a couple of challenges on them that had some news at one point. When they started making them for one of the fighting games, like one of the punch up games for Switch, the controller that came with it you could get as like $100 purchase, and that generation controller and everything afterwards has been better.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone who was an early adopter I know had challenges with the controller in a couple of different ways. There was response issues, there was the control stick would set and would give false responses.
It was like there, I know that they have issues in the joystick for drifting.
Yep.
Yes.
That's absolutely, and we've talked about it on the show before too. The drift issue that the Switch has. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, for the standard controller, I really won't play any game that's action. I will go to a pro controller for it.
Oh yeah,
and I'll have it docked. Like it's a better experience anyways, and my hands won't cramp up.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. That is a good way to get around the drift, is just putting it docked and buying a pro controller, which is $60 extra on top of the $300 plus the freaking $60 games that you buy. But at least you can play them, I guess.
At least.
Yes.
Well, and I haven't seen anything about the Lite yet, but I'm just waiting for those controllers to have issues because they're not removable.
Oh gosh, yeah, well, I know that they're like doing class action lawsuits against them and stuff for that, and rightfully so. They're selling a product that doesn't work, but at the same time, geez, man, that sucks.
Agreed.
I got my Switch just before they launched the new Switch. Yay. Like 2 months.
Perfect timing.
I got it, and then they were like, hey guys, we're actually coming out with a new Switch. And I was like, this is fine. This is fine. I'm not mad at all.
Let's see.
Is that
Not in Switch news, but I've been playing Children of Morta on PS4.
okay?
How is that? Please tell me about that.
So, as someone who likes to play a lot of those sorts of games on PC,
Mm-hmm.
it's been difficult getting used to controls. And just to step back a bit, Children of Morta is a roguelike adventure game. It's isometric 2D, where you get to be a part of a family that is trying to stop the corruption that is taking over the world around you. And the base concept is brilliant. There are little pieces of storyline that it gives over the course of the game. The aesthetic and how they present it is absolutely gorgeous, which is why I don't want to get too far into the story. While it's like a 16-bit imagery for the artwork, and that's been overdone, I can give an exception to the art style for Children of Morta specifically. I think it works well, and I think it fits what they're doing with the environment well enough that I'm okay with another game that's low res. What I'm not okay with on it are the ridiculously long load times, especially for a game where you're going to be restarting and replaying areas all the time. I am waiting for a 16-bit generation of this map over the course of probably 40 seconds every run, and I'm just sitting there. It gets to the point where I have to go and find something on my phone to do, and I'm almost kind of out of it before I begin. That's my only complaint, though.
Okay.
The way that
Are you playing on the Switch?
I'm playing it on the
PS4.
PS4. Okay. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And the load times certainly have nothing to do with the graphics. There's got to be something with, like, they're doing world generation for each dungeon basically right at the beginning all at once. If they did something progressive, maybe it would be easier that way. I don't know. But there is something about it that takes a ridiculous amount of time. That being said, the progression's really fun. It reminds me a lot of, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of the game, and I don't have it off the top of my head. It's going into my Steam library just to find it. Progression is straightforward. You feel like you are getting something accomplished every run, unless you really, really just nail it at the beginning and hit the dirt. But oh my gosh, Rogue Legacy is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That game.
I remember that game.
At the beginning of every round, you have the chance to upgrade things the way you want to.
Yep.
And it's nice. There are some conveniences, like you don't have to use your money every single time. You can collect stuff. So you don't feel like you're being punished for having a kind of bad run or not the ideal situation run. Overall, I really like it. And the co-op is fantastic.
Do you think that it's do you think it has the same problems on PC? Have you heard of them? Or is it just on the PlayStation?
I actually don't know. I don't think it's the same problem on PC. The real trouble, though, is, and the reason why I ended up getting it on PS4 versus PC was to be able to have that couch co-op experience. You can technically do it on a PC, but it is a royal pain to get it to actually work the way that you want. And
Really,
if you like keyboard and mouse while you're on there.
With Steam, whatever the heck they call it, that they made like a LAN service.
If you want to do it live, you have to connect multiple controllers to a computer, or multiple keyboards and mice to a computer.
Really? That's strange.
Yeah, it's not really worth doing that way. And that's where I thought, hey, it would be more fun to at least try the controller experience and go for it.
For sure.
But yeah, and maybe it's just like user error on this. I will fully accept that possibility. But we were trying for like 20 minutes to get a second controller playing on computer and couldn't make it happen.
For sure. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. If you couldn't do it, then I am sure that some other people couldn't do it either, you know?
But yeah, overall, still worth it. If you're going to play it single player, definitely get it on computer. I think you'll have a great time with it.
Okay.
If you want that couch co-op experience, get it on a console. It'll be that much easier for you. But either way, really good. If you enjoy a good environmental, or what am I looking for? If you want good experiences just with the aesthetic, this game has it nailed, and I think is a good example for other games in this genre to work from.
Okay.
Yeah, when I originally had seen it, I was like, wow, the art style is really pretty. I like it a lot. It's very dark, very blue and purple and like greens that are just like popping out from the dark art style, and it's really nice. So maybe I'll look into getting it here after the podcast, because I have had my eye on this game for months before it even came out, but I decided against getting it because at the time there was some like weird stuff going on, but I couldn't like play it on stream.
Okay.
So now I kind of just wanted to go buy it and play it by myself, you know?
There you go. Dizza, you just sold a game. Bam.
You did? Oh my gosh. Does that mean that you're an influencer?
maybe.
Dizza the influencer here.
Oh dear. Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, very technically.
Anything else you've been playing then, or?
That's been the main stuff. I mean, a little stuff on the side. Some more Slay the Spire. The updates that are continuing to come up there are fun. But nothing really notable like those two.
Okay. Cool. If that's the case, I think this is a fantastic spot for us to go ahead and take a break. So, everyone go ahead and get up, move around, stretch, go to the bathroom, whatever it is that you have to do. If you're watching live, if you're listening to this later on, you're going to hear right where we pick up. But for everyone else, we'll see you after a short bit. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Newbcast podcast.
You know, Final Fantasy VII Remake is supposed to be coming out here soon with that trademark afterwards, so you know we're never really going to know when it launches. There's this line in Final Fantasy VII where it says that the train only goes where the rail leads.
Yep. Very true.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that path is clearly under construction, and we may be inadvertently contributing to not getting Final Fantasy VII Remake for a while. Because it is clearly under construction, and that rail is...
Do we know what that looks like right now?
Have you seen the 5-minute intro trailer?
Oh yeah.
My gosh. Oh my goodness. So, everybody who is checking this out, at some point, once you're done with the podcast, go find the introduction, because you get a little bit of, what we're used to with Final Fantasy VII, and oh, hey, look, this is a high-res version. But before that portion of we're going into the train segment, there's this beautiful part of, like, here we are living in an awful environment where we aren't actually taking care of nature and everything around us. And it sets the scene for Avalanche in a way that is totally different and totally cool. And it makes me very excited, looking forward to that being the big message in the game. In a way that it really wasn't with the original. Like, we talked about it for the first 6 hours, and it kind of disappears until you get to Cosmo Canyon, and then it's important mostly because of the characters that we hate.
So, in regards to Final Fantasy and its delay, then does it work to Square Enix's advantage that they are going to do everything episodic instead of all at once?
I mean, it definitely is good for their coffers.
That's why they do it, right?
Well, sure, that makes a lot of sense. But so we're talking about a huge delay. We're not going to see it next month, or what? 3 weeks now. I think what the original slate date was. We're not seeing that.
I mean, it's not going to be as long as every other delay that we've been dealing with, but
right.
it does make me wonder what the holdup is.
Well, sure. I think that's fair to wonder and try to make assumptions about. I completely a legitimate conversation piece. I guess the reason I'm asking is just the general. If there's different teams that are working on the different episodes, does that mean that the other teams have more time to get those episodes finished, completed, and polished when they're due to launch? Because if we push
I
back
would be
one
very
date,
surprised if they were being handled by different teams.
so
I don't know.
it's a question, right? Is it all one team? If it is, that means every other episode's also pushed back at this point.
The problem is they can get away with it. They can totally get away with it, and I'm actually not that bothered by it. For the last how many years we've said, hey, I'd much rather have a game that's fully developed and ready to go, and I'd rather you not put people and programmers in these giant crunch periods where they work 80-90 hours a week for no good purpose other than to keep this deadline. So I'm actually really satisfied that we're seeing these AAA titles that are getting delays. I'm just hoping it's for the right reasons.
Sure.
And that they are taking care of people behind it. And if that's the case, and that delays everything else that's down the line as well for the other two chapters, fine,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just had. I mean, speaking of the same topic, we've had so many pushed back games. Like, it's only February 16th, and we've had a lot of games pushed back. Last week there was Ori and the Blind, or not Blind Forest, but Ori and the Will of Wisps. I was really excited to play that, and it got pushed back to who knows when. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I didn't even see the date on that one.
So, like, pretty much every game that I've been looking forward to this year, which, I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first quarter every year, and it's usually really bad for games that are coming out. But yeah, The Last of Us 2 as well. Like, a
Cyberpunk
lot of the games,
2077.
all of the games that I'm looking forward to, every game that I'm looking forward to has been pushed back, and that's fine. Like we said, we want the developers to be taken care of.
Yep.
We want the game to be good.
Yep.
But every game,
yeah.
But I mean, like last year, it was the year of flops, right?
Yep.
Every game that we were looking forward to flopped.
Yep.
So maybe this year will be the day, or the year of pushed back release dates, but maybe they'll all be really good, or most will be really good. Mm-hmm. That's the hope, right? That's the hope that they're taking this time to actually polish the game, instead of being, hey, you know what? We know that we like really messed up, but tough,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not to take a non-video game example, but it's kind of a video game example. How about the Sonic movie?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That got delayed because of feedback from people who said, well, no, this Sonic is absolutely ridiculous. What on earth are you doing? And reasonably so. And it became, like, it proved to be a box office hit. It started off really well so far.
I would say that that is also due to the fact that, like, there was so much bad press about the Sonic movie that it reached people who would normally just never even hear about it. Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Oh,
do you think that is like? Do you think that's like a measured? I feel okay. This is very tinfoil hat, but do you think it would be like a measured, purposefully like PR stunt? And they just had like a new Sonic just chilling in the background. Like they were like, we're gonna delay this movie, but don't you worry, you guys. When it comes out, it's gonna be really good. Meanwhile, they're like,
I think that if we hadn't seen the commentary that we saw from the director of the movie, maybe, because I think one of the things that gets spoken about a lot in gaming is that there's no such thing as bad press, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe for something like that, you could say the same thing. And with games, I think that kind of backfired because so many different games were just not what we expected, to the point where it was almost, I mean, it was, we, our 2019 recap, we were, instead of talking about great games that we played in 2019, we were talking about all the issues that we ran into with games that came out in 2019.
Yep.
Not to add to the tinfoil hat, but I might have a sheet of aluminum foil. Recall
I don't actually
that.
think this, by the way. Just I was throwing the idea out there.
I mean, I love this. I want to see how far we can get it.
Oh boy.
So
Look
here we go.
Look what you've done.
What was the other video game
regret.
that was? Sorry, it's too late now. We've gone down this rabbit hole.
Please continue.
But what other game came out or was announced for a launch date similar to Sonic? Or what? Not game. What movie? So it's about video games.
Well, I know Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter was.
Originally, the timing was to match up Sonic with Detective Pikachu.
Oh.
They were within a month of each other for release. I want to say within a couple of weeks, actually.
Really?
And I think,
That's
like, when I was originally
now.
Sorry?
That's a couple of years apart at this rate, or damn near.
Detective Pikachu?
Or at least a year.
I thought it was out.
But yeah, it is out.
Detective Pikachu's been out for a while.
Yeah.
But
May
when it was
10th,
originally
2019.
discussed,
Okay, I see what you mean.
it was supposed to launch right along the same time. So
Yeah.
if I'm a producer, I'm saying, well, wait, we're going to have two big video game movies on this. People are going to choose one or the other. This is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of it, my trailer is losing massively because people are like, look at this terrible, awful creature that we've created. Well, then I can put it to a different time.
Yeah, but studios do that all the time. I look at what happened between Lucasfilm and Marvel. I realize that's all under the House of Mouse, but look at those two studios. They saw that the Marvel movies come out in May, and what else used to come out in May every time a movie came out? And then all of a sudden, a franchise got moved to December releases. Those type of things happen a lot, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it takes much tinfoil for you to get the reception you need for that one.
Yeah. But if I'm a director that is being locked into a certain date, that would be a very good way to get around it.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Maybe.
I don't have this tinfoil hat. I'm trying to make it work for you, okay?
Yeah. I mean, usually you could just see it was an accident, and I think you can use, like, what is it called? It's not Occam's razor, or maybe it is Occam's razor, where you just chalk it up to, like, it's not a thing that people try to do, it's just what happened.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like I said, for the record, I don't actually think the simfoil hat, simfoil cat, it's an emote. I don't think that, like, any of this is real, but yeah.
Oh lordy.
It was just a thought that I, like, threw out there, and then Dizza ran with it.
Yeah. The much more likely explanation is that they really just messed it up terribly.
So in regards to game delays, though, how about some of the other game delays? Because what I mean, we got Final Fantasy
pretty much
delayed.
every game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That Cyberpunk was
And
delayed.
each one has different legitimizations, right? So, like, if it's, hey, I want to make sure everything's polished, good, we have the production end handled correctly to get Final Fantasy VII Remake out, I absolutely get that. That's totally cool. That's 3-4 weeks. That's fine. You've got Cyberpunk, which was originally scheduled for the spring and is now fall. So that tells me that there were a lot of different things in the development of the game that they did not plan out particularly well. That gets me a little bit more concerned. That being said, the premise of it is so good and they hyped it up so much. I could either go, is this going to be a No Man's Sky where they're going to over-promise and under-deliver, or are they recognizing that they want to deliver the full polished product that they originally sought out, and they know it's going to take another 6 months? And if so, then I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely has me much more cautious about that than Final Fantasy.
Would you say, and I already know Mish's response to this, but would you say that this is enough for you to not pre-order?
I see why you...
What takes Mish to not pre-order is saying there is a pre-order.
Thou
For
shalt
me,
not pre-order.
I don't really pre-order either, unless it's something where it's a known series, and like I've got no doubt, even if the game is a literal pile of trash, I will play it anyways and probably like it. So like I could have done that with Kingdom Hearts 3, and some may argue that it wasn't the amazing completion of everything in Kingdom Hearts.
That's an
and
interesting
even
transition. That's an interesting transition there. A big steaming pile of garbage. By the way, Kingdom Hearts 3, that is such an interesting transition that you did there, Dizza. What are you trying to say just now?
I'm just saying Kingdom Hearts 3 is incomplete, and they had to make you get DLC to complete an important part of the story. That's all I'm saying there. But
Okay.
even in the case where that was absolutely horrible, where it was literally just stick figure saying, "Hey, I'm Sora," like, and I don't know why I used a combination of Donald and Goofy's voice for Sora at that point, but that would still be relevant to how bad it could be, and I'd still play it and still be like, you know what? I remember this game when it was good. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So I will definitely be waiting out Cyberpunk unless somebody like literally just drops a copy into my hands and says, go play it before I can see reviews. I'm going to wait it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I do think that CD Projekt Red is a pretty trusted developer, but I love their team. I love pretty much whatever they do. The thing is, though, they have been asking for pre-orders and for you to purchase the game 10 months before it went out, and now they've pushed it back even more. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of glad I didn't jump on that bandwagon, you know? As Michelle says, thou shalt not pre-order, and I'm the farther in to the years that we do as streamers, I'm very happy that most of the time I don't pre-order games, just because it's like most of the time it's not beneficial to me, because I'm not like I don't have like 5,000 viewers, and I'm gonna be like just so many columns down in like a very populated category, so it's not really beneficial for me to play a game at launch anyway. So I just don't do it, because I'll just play it some other time. But also, there's been so many games that have been so bad that just flopped, like just before 2019, like in December, that it launched, and then came into 2018 that they launched, and then they flopped in 2019. And it just, for me, it like ingrains, like we had this conversation about Fallout 76 right there, Anthem. Those two are like the biggest ones that I was really looking forward to, and they were not good. I think the reason why 76 keeps going is because they keep going. They keep doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on everything that they do wrong. So it's just like throughout 2019 was just Fallout 76 failing, and Bethesda failing at every PR event that they could have saved. They could have saved face, but they didn't. They just rubbed the whole public's face in it. They're like, we didn't do anything wrong. It's you.
I like how Blizzard
I'll
did
at
it with
least give
Reforged.
Activision the credit that they've said, hey, we're actually gonna rework some things. Maybe we didn't do this right. But only enough credit to recognize how bad it is.
I bought Fallout 76, and I regretted such buyer's remorse. Like, I'm sorry, but Bethesda's lost my trust in any. I will not buy any of their stuff. They're gonna have to really, really fix this for me to do anything with them.
Don't count on it for 76. You're gonna have to count on one of the other franchises. You're gonna have to count on Elder Scrolls or something to be able to regain your trust in Bethesda. But even then, like, look at all the issues with Elder Scrolls too. I mean, some of the best viewed Elder Scrolls videos are all the glitches.
Yeah, I mean, well, Bethesda is known for releasing just buggy as hell games.
Yep.
Ever since like Fallout 3.
Yep.
So that was pretty buggy, but it wasn't that bad. But then like New Vegas and everything on was just so buggy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can show you some speed runs of the Fallout series. I promise you, it's all pretty buggy. It's impressive. Like, it got done for the recent GDQ, and I think they played through all of the Fallout games in all 2 hours. So wow. I can promise you there are a lot of game-breaking bugs that Bethesda still doesn't pay attention to.
Well, I mean, Skyrim on the Switch still has like game-breaking bugs.
Sure.
To the point where you can't even get it fixed. You have to like start a new save.
And I just think at least you should be able to own up to it, even if there's a point where you have to sit there and wait till you swallow your pride to do it. I think we saw that with Blizzard and Reforged the last few weeks.
Tell me about that, because I totally missed that.
So, Warcraft 3 launched. The Warcraft 3 Reforged launched with a lot of changes and issues with the game that just absolutely broke the game. But because of the way they made the changes to Reforged, it actually changed the core Warcraft 3 game. So if you had Warcraft 3 and you had Reforged actually made changes to the original Warcraft 3, so you could even play the original and play it and enjoy what worked about it and what you enjoyed about it, and it just completely foobarred the entire experience. It got review bombed into oblivion. I think the user review score for Warcraft 3 Reforged right now is at about 0.5 for a user score.
Wow.
And Blizzard for a while was like, no refunds, blah blah blah, and they finally caved and like, we'll issue refunds for this. We screwed up.
I feel like Blizzard does this, right? Blizz at the reception of Diablo 3. Terrible reception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Insta flop, like pretty much right out of the gate. And then like, oh hey, you know what? You guys are right. We hacked this up pretty bad. Let's go ahead and fix it. And then they fixed it, and it was a good game. Afterwards, some people don't agree. That's okay if you disagree, but I think that it's a much better game. Michelle. I feel like maybe they'll fix it. Maybe.
Who knows? They might. With Diablo and their screw up with that, I mean, that was an auction house that was just a reworking of the drops and such. And of course, they had to get around Error 37, which
yes.
I saw the Rage video is probably still one of my favorite videos for that.
I mean, I remember watching like Jesse Cox play, and they just kept getting disconnected and so much rage. And I'm like, I am so glad that I didn't pre-order this game. I watched it happen, and I was like, thou shalt not pre-order. I will not buy it. I'll buy it after launch. And then it launched, and it was a flop, and I was like, woo! The same with No Man's Sky. I was like, I don't know anything about this game, but I really want it, but I'm not going to pre-order it, but I really want to. And then it came out, and I was like, I feel so much better about my decision.
So the only reason that we and Diz and I were both roommates at the time, but the only reason I played Diablo 3 the night it launched was because it was, if you subscribe to a year of WoW, you got the game for free. It's like, well, I'm going to, I'm already playing WoW like that anyways. Whatever. I'll take a free game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that the night that it came out, I went out to the bar till bar closed, and Diz was like, "Are you sure you don't want to stick around and play the game at launch?" I'm like, "I'll just play it when I get home." I get home, it's like you didn't miss much, and he just shows the login screen. It's like,
Oh no. Yeah.
Like, cool. Well, I get to play the game when it actually launches. Plus, I got to go to the bar. Win.
Yeah. It was at least 3 hours after you got back from the bar.
Yep. Good times.
It was a good time.
So, regardless, once again, they're eating the pride on it, and that doesn't do. They don't learn. They just don't learn when it comes to that with Fallout, and I guess to tie it all back into what we were originally talking about with delays. Yeah, I guess I'd rather see all the delays and knowing that the game is finished. It's just kind of a bummer because everyone is expecting March to be this huge blowout month of games. They're like, oh, there aren't any now.
Yeah. I mean, like we've been saying though, it's just like we hope that the games that are pushed back are going to be pushed back, and the time that they are going to use is going to make it good. But I'm really, really worried that these guys are pushing the releases back, and then they're going to launch it because they're like pressured to, and then it's going to be bad.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. You know, one thing I don't wonder would help a bit is if they just did like a quarterly launches, like instead of we're going to do this on March 7th, 2020, why not have we are going to have this out in Q2 2020. That gives you from April 1st all the way up to June 30th to get something out.
I think the problem is quarters are arbitrary.
Yeah. Or just that idea of a time frame instead of an exact date.
I mean, that's a great idea, but I just don't see investors, the people who throw money at these developers, being like, oh yeah, return in sometime this year. Okay, I can do that. They're very much like, I need to know down to the very split hour. Like, I need to know when I'm seeing my money back, you know? And that's the problem with this industry right now, is that there's like everything. I mean, it's good and bad, right? It's good that they're throwing money at these developers, but it's bad because they're like making people work 80, 90 hours a week because they're in that crunch time.
Maybe
it's like these people are understaffed and
maybe we need to invest in studios. Like, actually put the money in to be like, you know what? It's okay.
Well,
I don't expect I expect us to be good.
Say, let's pre-order games.
Well, not necessarily pre-order games, but when you appreciate what a developer does. I mean, why have I bought so many gems from ArenaNet for Guild Wars? Why have I spent, you know, even if it was just a few bucks on Magic Arena to buy a collector's edition pack that I could get with some other stuff. Because I got enjoyment out of the game. I'm like, here's something for the efforts, and it's a monetary support of the game. And
I did that with Fishing Planet. It's a free-to-play fishing MMO. I know. It's a very dad game, but it's free. And I had like 160 hours in it because I was just really enjoying the game. So I gave them like $100. I was like, thank you for giving this game.
Talking about dad games, is he still here for that? Because God, yeah.
But it's like it's a free game that you can get into. You don't have to pay money to play. And I enjoyed it so much. I streamed it. I was like, I'm making some money off of this game. Like, people are subbing while I'm playing it. I might as well give some back to the developer because I like what they've done. So like I just threw $100 at them, but yeah. I wish that, I don't know, like I said, you know, it's $100. That game, $60, right? Like, you could buy pretty much any AAA game for $60, but I gave them $100 because I enjoyed the game, you know. So I'm not saying that like they're gonna make more money if they release games for free and then just be like, hey, pay what you want or whatever, because that we've seen that actually happen, and it's not very good. A majority of people give like $1 or nothing, you know. But yeah, I don't know what my argument was there, but it's just if you make a good game, people who enjoy your game
You're talking about
and want you to
investments,
make
and then
more.
it was investments, and then there's a saying that, well, why don't we invest into? And then it was why do you suppose I do what I do with the transactions? Yeah, all that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, it's such a weird concept because you know that these companies, a lot of them are publicly traded, but we never talk about it like, hey, somebody, you know, we're upset because all of these shareholders are saying, hey, I want this now, or I want an exact date, I want XYZ, I want my return on investment. We could be those investors. We just don't do it. Mostly because we don't have the money to do it because we've been put in this environment. There's a big story there. The fact is, it'd be pretty cool if we could be the people calling the shots. Just saying.
I don't know if I want that stress. I have enough stress trying to deal with one Twitch page.
Tell me about it. Preaching to the choir there. And yeah. Hey, speaking of monetary value, Dizza, you brought this up in our discussion earlier, before in text, but in monetary discussions, there's also discussion about Nvidia and Blizzard.
So yeah, I mean, since we're on that Blizzard path already, so Blizzard, on top of other things, has had a weird scenario with GeForce. It's GeForce Go, right?
Yeah.
The streaming service that Nvidia is putting out. Blizzard was heavily involved in their beta, and Blizzard apparently thought that there was going to be a separate agreement for being live, and there wasn't, and Nvidia just kind of made all of their stuff available. So Blizzard pulls away right away post beta and says, well, we gotta renege some agreements here. And so they're working on that negotiation now, but I think the thing that's interesting here is anybody who is in the beta for this program and was like, oh, this is really cool, I'm so glad that I have these Blizzard games, now suddenly doesn't have them and is still paying the same amount for the subscription service. How is that fair or reasonable to those people?
It's absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
I mean, going in, signing up, giving the money because you know what they have, what they're offering, and then them going, just kidding, just kidding. We'll be back later. Like, that's not an acceptable thing. They're gonna have to refund people. In my opinion, that's the only response is to refund.
So I think this speaks to the bigger issue with these subscription services for games, is that there really is no commitment. And once you get a big enough library, you could have companies come and go from it like Netflix does today. And the expectation is that you're just going to be fine with. I think that's the single biggest problem that I see with trying to take the Netflix model and put it in this environment. Right now, we're getting great costs and things like that. But what happens if that MMO that you've been playing for so long, or, you know, maybe a new Persona game is only available on GeForce, and I want to play it again, and I can't because they stopped their agreements with Atlas. And Atlas, I don't blame you one bit, but I'll still be paying money and not getting the sort of thing that I want to get out of it.
I feel like there has to be monetary compensation in that, and if you pull like that, well, I mean, it depends. Like, if you're subscribing to, like, I don't know, Origin Premiere or whatever, right? And you're like only playing games, I don't know, because it's very cheap. It's like $15 a month.
I think what you're going to start running into, though, if it was some of those platforms, I think we already see like Origin and the subscription service that comes with Origin and such. If you get what happened with GeForce and the streaming that comes from that, or whatever happened with Stadia and that
we don't talk about that. That's a banned word. You're
right.
You can't say that.
I feel like what could end up happening is they have those pullouts like, we'll come back, or they'll just launch their own streaming platform of games, and then you run into the same issue that you run into right now in the TV sphere and television sphere with subscription services, and it's not going to do as well because, well, what about I could do it just on my own and get everything I want from it, and it's not a flattering look. It's not a flattering look.
Yeah, this is going to be the ultimate issue, and the only escape for it that I can think of that still allows this subscription model service to work is that competitors jump in when agreements break with other services. So, like, if Blizzard suddenly goes over to Ubisoft and says, you know what, we'll license out our game to you for Uplay, and there's a transfer of people over there, Ubisoft's going to love that. Blizzard's going to love it because they're probably getting a better agreement out of the deal, and maybe that happens, but there's no guarantee, there's no obligation to that. And ultimately, if this is going to succeed and have people buy in on the subscription model, that's the only alternative that makes sense when someone pulls out of one environment, is that they have to be in another.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Of course, I think one of the other big conversations we've had regarding streaming games in general and whatnot is the infrastructure is just not there yet. Anyways, so I mean, maybe this is nothing to begin with because the infrastructure is just not there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we saw prematurely on live, right? And they tried really hard, and I'm sure that some games were really good on live. Maybe like a Civ game, stuff that doesn't really require like really, really good ping, you know. But you can't play fighting games. You can't play FPS games. You can't play like so maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough market. Yeah. I don't think it's new. I still don't think the technology is there. I mean, if Google can't even do it, which is like one of the richest companies in not just America, but one of the richest companies in the world can't pull it off, I don't think that the infrastructure is there. Well, and I don't even know if it can be there.
Google's got a lot of failed projects. I just don't think we see a lot of the failed projects because of the ones that do work.
Sure. Yeah.
As far as they're seeing things, it's just like Microsoft and Xbox and always on with their and the infrastructure is just not there. And these places where Google has their headquarters and where Microsoft has their headquarters, the infrastructure is there to support it. So they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. We can do this. Then you get out into outer state areas or other countries that just don't have the.
Hi.
Yeah,
I live in the suburbs, like at the very end of town.
Yeah, see, outer edge of LA and.
Well, imagine being in the country. Like, imagine, you know, you live your life in a town of, 700 in Utah, where internet is a premium that you cross your fingers and hope for every once in a while, and you're happy. Like, you're never going to catch up with those people, and there are surprisingly people in the U.S. Because it's so much area.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no shot of getting anywhere near there.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Utah. I didn't mean to call anyone out. I've been in that state. I've seen some of those areas, and I know I can call most of Utah out safely.
I don't know. Do we have any other thoughts on this, or have we beaten this dead horse?
I think we beat this dead horse. Yeah.
Okay.
As one with experience in beating horses, I will trust your expert suggestion on this.
Out of context, that sounds really bad.
Sorry, slapping horses.
It's butt punching horses, if anything.
And that's better.
It is. Because it's on the butt. You're not like punching a horse in its face.
You say butt punch, and I will tell you, I will give this face worse than what I said earlier.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna punch a horse and you don't want to hurt it, you gotta punch it in the butt.
Oh shit!
Am I right? I mean, come on.
Y'all are hearing this.
Oh my god. I don't even know.
I'm just glad that we didn't have the conversation that we had before the podcast on the podcast. I'm glad we were not live. That's all I'm gonna say.
I almost went live with it though.
You almost did. It's a good thing there had to have been like that, the countdown and stuff.
Goodness.
So
what else is out there right now?
The question I want to ask you guys, because I feel like there's plenty to talk about here to bring it in for the show, is think about some of the games that you used to play a lot, but you haven't played in a while.
Okay.
What's something you'd pick up again and play, like you have an itch, like I should play this again, and just haven't pulled the trigger on it?
I watched a buddy play World of Tanks, and I don't really like World of Tanks, but way back in the day, in like 2015 to 2016, I went hard out on War Thunder, and I kind of want to go back to it. I'm like all about that flying, so you know, I miss being a pilot, and I miss like air combat, like dogfighting. It's so much fun. I used to be pretty good at it, so I do miss that. Yeah. I think that's, or Warframe. You know what? Warframe is a great game that I tend to go back to every once in a while.
I need to play more Warframe too. I completely agree with that. Yeah. Let's group up.
What you got, Dizza?
Let's group up sometime.
Let's see.
All right. I have to reinstall it.
I've got a couple of ideas off the top. Mostly stuff that's sitting on my SNES Classic, because that era remains my absolute favorite. I think I need to do another run of Super Metroid.
Super Metroid. Okay.
There is something, and this happens at the end of every speedrun marathon, because Super Metroid has been kind of the shining star, or one of the shining stars of that environment. Every time I see it, I think, that was a really good game. I did enjoy it. And I remember thinking that I was the coolest on Earth because I figured out how to bounce with the bombs so that I could get into that one room 3 segments earlier than everyone else at and take 20 minutes to do it and completely waste of time. But I could do it. It was cool. Games like that where I've got enough technical know-how to do some cool stuff, that I really enjoy. Another one that I usually go back to when I'm feeling about technical know-how is Final Fantasy VIII, because that game has a lot of very little niche secrets and details that you don't really have to play around with, but it's really fun to do. I haven't done the lake, like the last time I did a playthrough, I didn't do the lake quest, and I didn't get Poo Poo, the adorable blue alien, and I need some Poo Poo in my life, so I think that's probably coming up here pretty soon too.
Okay.
PU, just for clarification purposes.
I'm glad you clarified that. The look of concern on Hippo's face said it all, I think.
I know. I have a plush Poo Poo over here, and it's not like the rainbow poop that you get over at Eggs or your local carnival. Just in case you need the visual. All
I'm saying is that I know people in chat always say it's me. They always say it's me. They say I'm not innocent. I feel like I've been very good this podcast. And you two have been the worst you've ever been. 2020 is the year of derailed conversation and topics, and apparently poo-poo? Apparently poo-poo. And also large black dongers.
1 second. I don't have the latter, but I'm grabbing the former just to prove this.
Okay. Bye, Dizza.
What?
You did this, Michelle. You did this.
I was asking about games that we haven't played that we want to play again.
Look, this is what happens when it's 2020 and it's all three of us together.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
Oh, he's back.
I love my poo-poo. My poo-poo is adorable, and you all should appreciate him. Look at him! He is the cutest.
I have to agree. Your poo-poo is very cute.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been that bad, I swear.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
This was totally meant to be an lesson, and look at us now. Look at where we are.
You know, I was feeling bad about derailing the podcast earlier, but now you can have my crown of derailment. You can have that.
Take Hippo's tiara. Go on.
Yes, my tiara. The tiara of derailment.
The queen of the derails, yes.
Yeah,
Lord.
exactly.
So,
what would I play? Did you ask?
Yeah, Michelle, please. What is the game that you would go back to if you had the chance?
City Skylines.
Really?
I've had an itch to try to rebuild a city, try to do some of the things that I've picked up from various other City Skylines streamers that I've become acquainted with the past year, and go, I wonder if I could actually do a decent city. I still want to build a poo lake in it, I think, because that's just what we do. But
yeah, poo lake. No, not a poo lake.
Not a poo lake. No, it's just poo lake. Get a resort there. Everything else that was
a resort and spa on Poo Lake.
Yep.
I think we all have done that. I mean, we all have the humor of a 15-year-old boy. So.
No, I've had this itch because there's the funny thing is, okay, to explain this, I have to remind you that I do RP on a GTA server, but a lot of the founding members of that community came over from a bunch of City Skyline streamers. So when they go back to play City Skylines, you see a lot of very good looking cities in the games. Like, wow, you can actually do quite a bit.
Of those.
Yeah, or at least try to pick up on some of the stuff that they applied to their city building, going, I wonder if I can make a functioning city this way. And there's been an issue.
You were able to. I just destroyed it a lot. That's all. Actually, you know what? The last city that I remember you building, it was on a river, and it was just all polluted. You had like one highway that went like the weirdest, like circly. I don't even know. I remember you built it, and then I went into your channel, and I was like, "What have you done? What have you done?" Like, I'm not the best City Skylines player or whatever. I don't play MLG. I very much just enjoy the design and sprawling cities and all that. But you were murdering people. You were straight up murdering people.
Hey, we all need that place to put the van down by the river.
But the whole city was the van down by the river. It was so polluted. People were literally dying. There was, like, you know how we were saying how, Poo Lake? Well, her whole city was just Poo City. Poo everywhere.
Yeah.
Just on the street.
It was a representation of the world that we live in now. That's all.
Oh, God.
And this is a weird tangent, but I'm going to run with it. I have recently learned that people traveling from the Netherlands when they come to the United States are specifically warned not to pee in U.S. cities on the street.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's a thing apparently out there that we don't do here.
Are you sure?
I mean, that we don't do legally here.
Okay, no, that's not what I meant. Yeah, are you sure that's a thing that people do?
Yeah,
I never heard this. I mean,
I heard this. I heard this on a public radio station on a syndicated show, which I trust. Maybe it's not the Netherlands. Maybe it's a Scandinavian country, but It is either the Netherlands or the.
Hey
So
guys,
I mean, I will bring them to your city. I will bring them to your city so that they can make your poo city that much better.
look,
They would enjoy
guys,
it.
I just can't have you the sidewalk.
You should have told your town that. You should have told
Everyone
your town
listening, just remember, it's these two, not me. I'm very well behaved today.
So for those that are
I'm
here
innocent.
live, just hashtag blame hippo and everything will be fine.
Wow. Apparently I can't ban the broadcaster in their own channel. I'm not even a mod, but I tried anyway.
See, and for those that are listening after the fact or whatnot, I just want to point out it's great that Hippo's community manager is the one that will go ahead and drop the hashtag right away for us. So I love
She's
it.
the first person, and so far the only person, to say hashtag blame hippo.
But I appreciate it
Thanks,
nonetheless.
Sammy. Thanks, Sammy. I love you too.
I'm just trying not to post anything on there so that you guys don't hear my clicky clacky keyboard.
Fair.
That's fair.
My heart is definitely hashtag blame hippo. I'm on this team.
Yeah, no.
Anybody looking for a community manager job out there? Anyone? Looking to replace a certain Sammy?
I'm already one of two different communities. I'm good, thank you.
Hey, Dizza, how you doing, buddy?
I'm part of the same team, and I don't know if I have any openings. But if it happens that you have to kick someone out, I mean my house is here. I have a small cot that I can offer for a while, and we will help any lost moderators find refuge. Because no moderator should go without a home.
You're safe this time, Sammy. You're safe this time.
I don't know that. Anyway, for my game, yeah, I just maybe sometimes just for the kicks of doing that Warframe. So Hippo, there's a lot of games that you and I both especially like, yeah, we should pick this up and hey, we should do this, and we just don't do it.
Well, there are so many. That's the problem.
That's
when you're streaming with a goal in mind, when you're like, especially when you're getting closer and closer to partner, you don't want to like deviate too far, just because like that goal is in sight. So if I were to just play something random, although sometimes it works, you know what? Fishing Planet was that game for me. I didn't think nobody would be there. There was like 70 people just hanging out with me playing Fishing Planet. I was like, okay, you guys like dad games. I see that. Interesting. Like, it was just one of those days where I was like, you know what? I don't know what to stream. I don't even care. I'm just gonna stream because I said I was gonna stream, and I don't feel like playing anything but Fishing Planet. And then I played it, and it was a pretty good game for people to enjoy. And it was free, so anyone could hop in and play. So it was even better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun with a community where you don't have to worry that you're forcing someone to buy something that they may or may not want to.
It was like, sometimes you take a chance as a broadcaster, sometimes you take a chance, and sometimes it hits. And when it does hit, you're like, oh yeah. And sometimes, and more often than not, you try something, it doesn't work. But I mean, you try. You have to try stuff to not go insane. I can't be one of those people who play one game forever. I could play one game for a month, maybe. I'm very ADHD. I need to switch around and play some games sometimes, like some different games. We've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, but like, I gotta play some other games too, you know? So that was just one of those games that came, and I was like, let's just try it. I might as well. I'm gonna have fun with this no matter how it goes. And it was like a hit, and I was shocked. After the stream, I was like checking the stats, and I was like, what?
Fair.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, maybe War Thunder or Warframe would be like it's not a game that really fits my community, but it's free.
It is free. Whatever, we can talk about it elsewhere, right? Yeah. I think that kind of brings us to the end of the show. It's kind of nice when even though we rambled, we we were able to do this in a slightly more manageable serving of derailment. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that one
Back and
boomer
forth.
too.
And that one boomer.
That one boomer and his horse. That horse he rode in on.
Right.
Kicked him out.
So before we go, this is our opportunity to shill ourselves a bit of what we got coming up on our channels. We'll do some recognition of what's happened behind the scenes with the notifications, and then we'll go raid someone. So stay tuned for that. But before we do that, round robin, guys, what do you got coming up on your channels? We'll start with Mr. Hipponanimous himself.
Hi, hello. It's me, Hippo. I have gotten rid of my website since 2020. So you will not find anything at hippo.wtf, but you will find a redirect to my Twitch page, hippo.tv. That's right, HEEPO.tv will bring you to my channel. You'll find everything you could possibly want, links, descriptions about me, all that good stuff. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Byte, all the Instagram, all the social medias. You can find me Hipponanimous. If you can't spell it, just go hippo.tv and you will find everything. You just copy paste from the browser after that.
There you go.
And for what we're going to be playing this week, that's a good question. I'm not quite sure. Probably some Stardew and Golf with Your Friends for sure, because people said that they wanted that. So we'll play that probably at the end of the streams. Maybe some Snack World. I'm kind of really interested in playing some. I need to play it a little bit off stream before I decide to stream it on and see what the community says. But it seems like a really interesting game, so we're gonna check that out. But that's about it for this week.
Okay.
What about you, Dizza?
For me, I've got all of my stuff at twitch.tv/DizzaG. I am on the social networks and things like that, except for TikTok. TikTok still scares me for some reason. I'm looking at you.
That's fair.
So we've been playing a lot of RPGs, as is our standard. I'm thinking about switching things up a little bit, and just because I've been having so much fun with Children of Morta, that might be a piece. Or I may find another RPG that is a little bit shorter than Trails of Cold Steel, because that's been taking some time to push through. Something light and fun to get us back into the swing of things, because it's been kind of back and forth with real life here for a little bit. But nevertheless, we'll have fun. If it's a Tuesday or Thursday, we are definitely playing RPGs. If it's any other day, who knows what's going to happen. So stop on by, and we'll see you then.
Awesome.
How about you, Mish?
Well, for myself, we got more of the Crew RP coming up on the channel this week, and Elite Dangerous. It's not going to be Sci-Fi Friday because there's an event on Friday in the Crew, so be looking for that. I think I might do Elite on Tuesday. What I'll do is in the next couple, probably by tomorrow afternoon, I'll post a schedule of what games are going to be what. And yeah, Elite, the Crew RP, and we'll try to get back into VR fitness sooner than later. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but doing that on my Saturdays because I'm already doing it anyways. Why not stream it too?
Fair.
And that's really what I got coming up on here until we come back in 2 weeks where we do this again. And that's it for that. So, that being said, for Hipponanimous and for DizzaG, my name is Miss Michelle Jean. This has been the Newbcast Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night.
Later, everybody.
Do 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 do.